All right, if y'all can hear me, share. You can share the live. It should be up on my page. Let me see. Okay, I'm gonna tag y'all in it.
Are you all able to see me? Because I can't see anyone.
I think she said it's going to go commercial first.
Yeah, it's gonna go commercial. I think y'all can hear. They can. If we talking, they can hear you too. But that's cool. If y'all can share, I'm trying to tag everybody now. If you can share the live that just was created from my page.
I'm digging the intro music. That's hot.
You know what? That's just on the StreamYard.
Oh, okay. I'll take my props back.
Okay, I tagged y'all in the post. Y'all can share because it takes about a minute to see it. Okay, and really how Facebook and stuff is now, if you don't tag people, they won't see it.
Well, I'm India, Georgia's best friend.
Oh, you're India. Sis has told me a lot about you.
Well, strangely, she hasn't even mentioned you at all.
What's the deal with you and India?
I love India, but lately she just been acting real insecure and kind of low-key hating. You are making a fool of yourself in front of my friends.
Friends? Girl, you are so stupid. These people here are pretending to be your friends.
Get out!
Go to hell. You can go straight to hell.
We fall down, but we get back up. Struggles never hold us down. Keep the semi-auto tuck. You can't never try.
Hi. I came to Miss Independent Island because I'm finally ready to open up to a man. As long as he opens up his text messages, his messenger, his DMs, his emails, and his phone log to me. And his car mileage. See? I'm open.
I came up in Miss Independent Island because I just need me a man to Travarius. I'm on the phone. Mama, you need to come and get your grandson. What? Me and my son are a package deal. Period.
I put Miss Independent Island on my schedule because I need to show these ladies how it's done. Clearly, I'll be going home with whoever this man is. But, in case he makes the wrong decision, he got a brother.
I graced Miss Independent Island with my presence on the slim, very slim chance that I could connect with a man that, of course, has some academic credentials attached to his last name. You know, I'm a PhD.
I didn't mean to do that twice. All right. Hang on, guys. Okay. Had to run that little tech stuff. All right. Good evening, good evening, good evening. If you are on here, please share this. Tag people. You guys know how Facebook algorithms work. You really, especially with me, because I'm still semi-shadow banned from the other stuff I do. If you don't tag people, they literally won't see I'm on here. Okay. So I know that cat is hilarious, right? So please, ladies, fellas, whoever's on, take this link and share it to your page. Everybody take and share it to their page so that we can get people in on the discussion, because it is going to be hot, hot, hot tonight. So before we get going, who do we have here on the panel? Of course, we got Miss Sharice. We ain't gonna tell you your name for the show. But hey, Sharice, what's going on? We got more Mint in the building. Mr. Brad August Cherry, what is going on, sir?
What up, Joe? How y'all doing this evening?
Yes, sir. Thank you. We got the realtor extraordinaire in the building, Mr. Jason Pulliam, and we can't forget the Chicago stepping. He in Detroit, but he stepping going up. And my good friend all the way in Houston by way of Detroit, Michigan. My good friend, Mr. Edward Dean, president and founder of Avengers Youth Mentoring. How you doing, fellas, lady?
Good evening, everybody.
Hello.
Are y'all ready for this discussion, brothers?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right, awesome. So we're gonna do a lot tonight, y'all. I got some clips I'm gonna play. Before we get to the clips, though, just in in a few words, how would you guys describe the 2022 dating market? And people are, if you're listening in, you can comment as well. How would you describe it in a few words?
Dumpster fire.
Dumpster fire. So it's not only a dumpster. You saying the dumpster's on fire?
It's a slow motion bus crash into a train with some kids on board.
Oh, okay. It's pretty bad.
That's very bad. Yay.
Who wants to take a stab next?
I mean, I would just say crash course. Like crash course. It's a disaster waiting to happen right now. That's it. How I summed it up right there.
Pretty much.
I would say.
Say that again. You know, you went out just a little bit.
I said a traumathon.
A traumathon.
Yeah. Yep. A trauma check.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Sharice, how would you describe it?
A joke. A pure joke.
Danny Lee says frozen booty juice, it stinks.
Oh my gosh.
Sharice says a joke. I would describe today's dating market as a mental hospital.
Yeah.
And everybody in it doesn't think they have a problem. They think the next person got the problem. And so you never get anywhere because you got all these people in this hospital and don't nobody realize that they're sick. Real talk. So the thing, guys, before we get going, we're gonna have a good time and all that, but the bottom line is it's a train wreck. And let me tell y'all this, it is not particular to our community. It's all, I think that's the misconception. Because a few of the clips I'm going to play today is from a guy all the way over to the UK, and he's a young white guy, and you're going to see that it's kind of the same thing. Let's see, Jamal says, what killed dating? People follow super traditions and too much selfishness. Yeah, well, that's a big one. So what we're going to do, guys, really quickly, I'm going to play a clip. And nobody here has seen it, right? The clip is in 5 parts, and this is this young man's thoughts on why men do not date anymore. That's where we're really getting to, because at the end of the day, women can say they're as modern as they want to, right? Hey, yeah, we're excited about this too, Cheryl. And Cheryl, how would you describe today's dating market? The thing about it is that as much as women want to say I'm this, I'm that, a woman still wants a man to ask her out. So all these modern women, all these modern ideals, they still, am I lying, Sharice? We need to stop being fake. Okay, we don't do the fake here. Y'all saw my commercial for fakers. We don't do fake, right? Women still want a man to traditionally ask them out. But the thing about it is, are these traditional women, right? Is there a reason why men aren't really asking women out like that anymore? So guys, hold on to your caps, because I'm gonna play, and some of these may trigger some people, right? Some of these may trigger some people, but it is really important that we set them. Okay, let me stop this screen. Share. It's really important that we get a grasp on what's really, really going on. Okay, so I'm going to play this. Like I said, it's in 5 sections. They're only like a couple minutes each. I'm playing this in live time, so everybody gonna be able to see y'all reactions. Okay, let's go. Okay, play. There we go. It's like, oh.
I'll get straight to the content. Here's 5 reasons why this is happening. Men are waking up and not taking women on proper dates anymore. Number 1, quite simply, the woman isn't relationship material. This is the thing about a lot of guys. A man might be happy to hook up, spend the night with a woman who's potentially 2-3 points lower than himself. It's not uncommon for 6 out of 10 guys to spend nights with 4 out of 10 women. However, these men will almost never want to take these women on proper dates, show his friends, or pretty much ever be seen outside in public with her. In most cases, a guy will only do these things if he believes a woman is on or around his level. This is the first criteria for which a man will begin to take a woman seriously and give her the time of day. Otherwise, why would a man spend time and money trying to jump through hoops when he knows he's more attractive? A second criteria that's also necessary and explains why a woman may not be relationship material even if she's attractive is because she doesn't meet certain characteristics guys see as necessary for relationships. Common bad characteristics include, but not limited to, having a promiscuous past, cheated on any previous partners, vain social media accounts, having a history of drugs, being on OnlyFans, and so on. And the point is, a lot of guys will be more than happy to date these women casually, inviting them over for short-term fun, but the vast majority of them wouldn't dream of seeing them long-term, despite the fact they may be physically attractive enough. Now, before I move on to reason 2, I'm going to expand a little more on this point here, about promiscuous past, because I see a lot of people, both men and women in fact, who don't understand why it's obviously seen as a negative by most guys. I've sometimes heard women say, yeah, I've slept around, but I'm ready to settle down now and my past doesn't change who I am as a person. No, all of this is wrong. You can't just jump off the carousel when you please and think men are just going to accept you for it. It doesn't work like that. Here's an example. Let's say you know a guy who's known to have stolen money from people in the past. If this is the case, you're hardly going to trust him with your wallet the first day he says he's never going to steal again. Similarly, if a woman claims she's ready to settle down, how will a guy know this is true and she won't go back to her previous ways? It makes no sense for him to give her his commitment, and in fact, it's a much safer option for him to keep things casual. This is the first reason why men don't ask women on proper dates anymore.
All right, fellas, let us get into it. Basically, he's saying one of the reasons that men do not ask women on proper dates anymore, let me stop this share for a minute and then we'll go back, is because a lot of women are not relationship material. They're only good for hookups. And I will say that a lot of women do complain. Men only want to hook up, right? So let's hear it, fellas. What do you think about what he had to say?
Well, I'd say that he's pretty spot on. There are a fair amount of women who are not, they don't present themselves as looking for a permanent relationship. They're looking for situationships, whatever works for now, or because they had that kind of past, what he's referring to in the video, they just look at men in some cases like a resource. So if you're treating a guy like, I am who I am, accept me for my past, but what can you do for me? then how are you ready and fit for a relationship? You look like you're looking for your next guy to jump on a carousel with. A week, a month, a year, next. And no guy wants to get sucked into a guy that's looking for a permanent relationship. It's not looking to get into anything with somebody part-time that could ever be serious.
Yeah. Mr. Edward Dean, what you got to say about that? Let me see some of the comments. The comments is feeling what he's saying. They say, Woo started fire. Jamal says on point. Alexandra said, loving this convo. Jamal said, not all women are like this, but from my experience, yes, on point. What you got to say, Ed?
All right, so I would agree that this is spot on, but I the only thing I don't agree with necessarily is, about the past, because a person like me, I care less about the past. I care about the actions right here and now, how you carry yourself. And for some odd reason, I don't know, I just get this media thing from some of the women that I have tried to reach out to or date. Is, they want the strong, good, well-balanced male who take care of his responsibility. However, their actions say that they want some kind of local artist that they follow a lot on social media. And I don't know why the women feel like that, guys want the weed smoking, the tight skirt wearing, that is, I don't know, I can't speak for everybody, but I can speak for myself, and that ain't the type of woman I want. I want a wife material. I want someone that my daughter can look up to as a role model. And it's been hard to find that, especially in these days and time.
All right. Motor City Mint, what you got to say about that?
I think it's these social media philosophies, these one-liners that kind of set the stage for that particular conversation that the gentleman from the UK was having. On one end you got you got these niggas and shit. On the other end you got these hoes ain't loyal. And so when you have a situation and you're hearing it constantly push, not just in music, but again, it's coming down your feed and your timeline all day long. And that people don't understand oftentimes psychology behind that. And if you're constantly drilling that into your head, you might not personally have experienced a bad situation, right? But you find yourself, subtly agreeing with those one-liners. You know what I mean? And I think it starts with the psychology, and it even goes, we can go deeper. I mean, somebody said something about crazy traditions, and I'd argue that maybe we need to go back to embracing some traditions. There's I stand firm on a lot of women today, and we can get into the reasons why. I believe it's that if you go deep trauma, but give off a lot of masculine energy. And in some ways, as men, and I can speak because I'm not a white man. As a black man, I can say we failed in that way oftentimes. But on the other end, you have some things like, I'll give you an example. It's like a running argument on what a man is supposed to be, and it's funny because you hear women talking about more so what a man is supposed to be, and I can't tell you necessarily what a woman is supposed. I've never been a woman. I can't tell you what a woman is supposed to be, but you have women who are basing these traditional, how the traditional insights, right? But they don't come with traditional ways. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
They don't come with traditional ways. They want a man that's going to pay for everything. It's going to take care to pay the rent, the mortgage, pay everything, and you can stack your money. Well, I can understand that, right? But that requires a certain type of woman as well. And so it's funny because on your promo, it says it's social media. I think it has a huge part in just pop culture, period, to do where we at right now. So definitely he on something.
All right, let's get some of these comments, and I'm gonna come to Sharice. Let's see. Jamal, let's just go back to it. Jamal says, not saying all women are like that. From my experience, yes, it's on point. He says a lot of women are looking for a way out. Understandable. Woo. Jamal says men can't be the head if he's being treated like the tail. Cheryl says bars. Danny says right. Cheryl says all traditions aren't bad. Some are moral, character-based. Well, that's the problem now, Cheryl. There's no morals and character. That's the problem. I can tell you right now. That's the problem. Jamal says that might have been a white man speaking, but me as a black man have been through it. You're about to see through this video, what you're going to see, I think it's going to shock y'all, is how much that other people are going through this. I think we think that some of these things are just particular to our community, and you're going to be like, yeah, we kind of go through that as well. Kim says tradition is good. Kim says what's wrong with that. Jamal says, I hate tradition because it gets nowhere. It's supposed to be teamwork. Man can't do it alone. We'll get into that in a minute, Jamal.
And it's funny, you know what, Vanessa? I see Kim in the comments came back. He can't be treated like the head, acting like the tail. And it seems like we're stuck there. You see what I'm saying? We're stuck in between that, and nobody want to budge. You see what I'm saying?
Right. That's very true. Sharice, so what do you think about, me and Sharice been having conversations, I would say about the last 2 months here. And we're having conversation because I made her aware of some behaviors that's been going on with our women, and she's been shocked. So Sharice, based on what the young man said, what do you think about what he said? Basically, women aren't dateable. Lot of
Exactly. It's so many points, like the promiscuous, yes. But like Ed Dean said, you could have been promiscuous in your past, but if you want to do right now, you can change. But also I agree with Jason with what he said and Brandon. Social media, one, has just been the nail in the coffin. And for two, it's like a preacher taking the Bible out of context. Like women want to take certain traditional values that cater to what they need when it's referring to the man, but then they're not acting like the traditional good, clean, wholesome mamas and grandmas that we had. They're not acting like that, so you can't expect a man to be something that you're not being. So I agree.
Can I add something?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I want to add what you said. It's not. I don't think it's necessarily the fact of wanting a person to change. I think it's more so wanting them to accept who they are, and go after the type of man that complements the person they are, opposed to trying to go after a good, wholesome man and bring those behaviors into that relationship, and then it becomes a false relationship. And I think that's where a lot of the struggles and problems come into play, because somebody ain't happy in their own skin in the relationship.
Yeah, that's a big deal. That's a big deal there, because I'm gonna tell you, we're actually gonna get into that. I'm be doing these shows Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday this week. I got to be very honest with you, and I think men got a much firmer grasp on who they are than women. That doesn't mean that men don't have some unrealistic expectations, but all women think they're top tier, all of them, no matter what they bring to the table. And their girlfriends reinforce it, social media reinforces it, and then they go after those top tier men, right? And ignoring, let me tell y'all something, fellas. Don't ever believe a woman who say, nobody's asked me out. When a woman says that, what she means is that nobody that I want asked me out.
Absolutely.
Because, and this guy breaks it down. So let's get into number 4, and then we'll come back, okay? Number 2. Sorry. If my
or already above 30, and that is the majority of high quality men who desire relationships are already taken. This one's easy to explain, and I'll do it using this chart I've used in 2 previous videos. Picture: when a woman is in her low 20s, she's going to be in a position of abundance of all 4 of these types of men. She's at her attractiveness peak.
Hang on, do me a favor, everybody. On my guest that's on the line, can y'all mute your audio while the video is going? And then, and then we'll come back. So I'm gonna start this. I'm just gonna go back just a little bit.
This one's easy to explain, and I'll do it using this chart I've used in 2 previous videos. Picture: when a woman is in her low 20s, she's going to be in a position of abundance of all 4 of these types of men. She's at her attractiveness peak, so all the attention is going to be on her. There's going to be men with good genetics, tall, strong, good eyes, hair, jawline, and men with bad genetics, weak, short, low testosterone. There will also be men that are good and bad providers. Bad providers, the guys who are broke, don't value commitment, are promiscuous, or at least trying to be. Meanwhile, good providers are men with high ambition, stable resources, and value relationships and commitment. Also, I just want to point out that although not many men in their early 20s are going to be immediate good providers, the key is they'll have potential. They'll be the ones getting great educations, on a path to well-paying, high-status careers, or alternatively, they may be starting a business or two on the side, which are just beginning to get their feet off the ground. Either way, these guys aren't bringing home the big buck shit, but the potential is key and their prosperity is likely just around the corner. Anyway, the point is, as time goes by and some women spend their best years partying, going out, casually dating, the pool of highest quality guys dwindles. The good genetics, good provider guys are the first to go as they pair off with other high quality women. In fact, this group dwindles far faster than any of the other three. The beta provider group effectively stays the same as they get friend-zoned or placed into the party girls' orbit. The fuckboy group also stays the same as none of them wanted to commit anyway. And the low-value men group never changes because they don't bring anything to the table. So by the time a woman is approaching or reaches her 30s, the only options she'll have left are these undesirable groups. And if she foolishly chooses to date the most attractive guys, chances are she'll bump into one of these fuckboys and wind down the bitter spiral saying, guys don't want to commit anymore. They're all jerks. Where did all the good men go? But the reality is, maybe she had chances with the highest quality guys who wanted relationships when she was in her youth, but she declined the offers so she could spend more time partying. Additionally, adding one more point to this, even if there are a few high-value men that are left at her age, or some of the beta providers ascend to high-value men, chances are they'll want to date the younger, most attractive girls in their early 20s. They have the value to do it, so why wouldn't they? Anyway, bottom line, as a woman ages, she'll likely find slimmer and slimmer pickings available dating-wise. And the only men left are going to be genetically inferior beta guys or the same Chad alphas who are never going to settle down.
All right, let's unmute. Let's unmute. All right. Well, I see everybody's faces going. Come on, Brandon. I see you. You're chopping at the bit.
I mean, man, it's like he got his doctorate in it. He's breaking down the whole science, man. And it's astonishing because, and it's sad because I really don't see any change. I don't see it going anywhere. I think the more successful women get, I think the more men find that they're fighting for their spots in certain areas. Men oftentimes feel emasculated as well, by women. But it's going. I think, like you said, it's going to be slim pickings, and then you're going to have a lot of sphinxers out here, spinsters, what they call them when you
spinsters.
Spinsters, yeah. And you buy yourself, and you got cats and stuff because what you were doing, the foundation that was laid in your 20s, and that's real. Our grandparents weren't doing the same thing that they're doing now in their 20s.
They were getting married,
and
having families,
absolutely,
partying,
Yeah,
all right, fellas. Go ahead, Brand. I'm sorry.
No, I was real quick. It's funny because I was just I paid attention to X and Dr. Martin Luther King, and just to know that they were in their 20s, serious as they were at that time. And that's another thing. I think we think everything's a party. Life is no longer has a level of seriousness to it. And I think we do need to have fun, but also there are some serious things that need to be approached and addressed. And you can look then, and who knew that they were in their 20s at that time? You know what I mean? And now you look at a 20-year-old now, they ain't hardly coming off like that.
No.
No.
You're right. Dr. King wasn't even 40 when he died, and just the maturity that was there, the maturity and the level. Go ahead, Ed.
Well, I mean, and also during that time, though, we were fighting for certain things that we still fighting for now.
How about say
Yeah, we're still fighting for them now. It just wasn't enough. It wasn't clouded with all of the social media stuff that's going on. So I think that plays a major role in removing certain traditions and goal-getters out. I mean, no one sitting down having conversation about business goals anymore and making a change within the community. I mean, I think that the guy is hitting it head on. I mean, he got the hammer in his hand and he's nailing it right into the wall. Especially with the hardworking men that's serious about college goals and stuff. I mean, we see that now even in the school system, even to this day with young. I mean, everybody go for the drug dealer, the gangbanger, the rapper, the pants sag, and I ain't knocking none of those individuals, but that is the direct go-to, and they all day long overlook the ones that's working hard to try and provide and stay in their books and make something out of themselves. And just like the guy said, as the women get older, those guys then attach themselves to some strong woman, or the ones that's not is looking for someone a little bit more in shape, go-getters and younger than that. So I agree with my man. Who is this guy again?
His channel is called Real.
Okay.
Yeah, and all his stuff is scientific. He on it. Jason, I know you clamming at it. What do you think about what he said?
You know, I want to kind of piggyback off of what Ed had to say. There's a real air of competition, and when girls are young and they're hot, nobody is telling them that they need to think about, you should settle down at some point soon.
Correct.
What they're getting from their families instead is, go have fun, go to school. You don't need a man right now. You need to just enjoy your 20s and travel in your 30s. And then when you're done, you can settle down. But by the time you get to your 20s and your 30s, you're older. And you may still be, if you ever were 7, 8, 9 or whatever, you get older, that does tend to slip. Because I mean, if you're partying, if you're drinking every day, and you weed habit or whatever, you know, that does age you, and you show that age. And with all the social media, you have all these young girls trying to compete with each other. So you have a mix of women with masculine energy trying to out bad bitch the next bad bitch,
right?
And then you got all this fakery. Like you meet a girl out in public and you don't want to do anything with her because you don't know who you're going to wake up with. You might wake up and her face is on the pillow and you got a stranger in your bed. Right. So, you know, there's no guy since ever said, I want the girl with the biggest fake booty that you can muster. And I want eyelashes on you so big that when you bend over at the waist, you can sweep the ground with your blink. No guy has ever said that. So, and then on top of that, you're trying to be hot for who? You're not trying to be hot for the guys. You're trying to be hot for the next chick. So that you can say that you're here and she's here. Meanwhile, all the guys are like, next. And, you know, now you got, if you mix that with, you might be cute under all of that stuff. But then the masculinity. Because even if a guy is brave enough to go and swim those rapids, if she has a bad attitude, she's not going to allow him to lead. So he's got to fight her in some kind of way. And we all know men cannot out-argue a woman. This is not what we're built for.
Right.
By the time I'm done arguing, I'm tired. I'm going to go sleep. I just don't do all that. So, you know, women are not understanding that that's not what we're looking for, and social media is making that stuff worse, way worse. So when they get into their 30s, the crowd that was big they could have was this big is now about here. And you know, a guy who's got some money, power, and reach, he doesn't want the girl who partied herself out and has a list of body count. Like, you know, she shouldn't have a body count like a guy might have. Call it a double standard. It's just what it is.
Yeah.
It's funny, real
Go
quick,
ahead, Brandon.
piggybacking off what you said, man. What's the actress that played in Baby Boy? I don't know if you all just caught that. She did an interview.
Oh no, me and Sharice talked about that. AJ Johnson.
Yeah,
oh,
AJ Johnson.
No. Oh, I had a lot to say about that.
And I listened to the interview and I really pondered it. And speaking to your point, again, that there's the energy, and I won't get off into whomever's lifestyle, but there are some things that men cannot do that women can do and get away with, and vice versa. You see what I'm saying? And I think some women are so quick to try to say, well, we can do it too, we can do it too, into the wrong thing. Back up, hold on, wait a minute. No, because that's gonna follow you, young lady.
Yeah.
Trust me. Much longer than it's unfortunate, however you want to say, but it just is what it is. And so that's when he said that, it clicked to me. I said, that whole interview kind of threw me off because she was owning it and owning it publicly, and that is the energy I think in general that we're seeing these days.
Oh my goodness, Sharice, me and Sharice talk about this all the time. All right, what you got to say about what he said with his 20s and wasting your 20s?
It's absolutely true. Right. Mothers are not grooming their daughters for wives.
No.
They're grooming their daughters to be a CEO. You know what I mean? So their focus is not, like wife and having a family and having kids and all that. That's not their focus. Their focus is, like they said, the bad B, the best one. I'm gonna have the big Fortune 500. I mean, that's their focus. So they're wasting their whole youth because they're focused on that. And now they're 40 and 50, and now they want to settle down, and it's like slim pickings.
Yeah.
Well,
and quiet all this baggage because now they got body counts. They may have some kids. They done been through this, that, and that. So now they're not going to say damaged, but, now they're bitter, they're masculine, all that. All the qualities that you don't want. Unattractive qualities, may I add, to a man. They're all unattractive.
And, well, see, my mom's from the South, right? And so back in the South, and this may be Greek to some of y'all that's listening. And my mom's born in the civil rights era. When they sent their daughters to college, do you know what the primary reason was?
To find a man.
To get a husband.
Your husband, yeah.
So they got a degree, and to this day, this is what most white and most non-black people do, and some black people in the boule, they still do that, right? And so the era of the baby mama, which was late 80s, 90s.
Yep.
Our kids, right? Our kids that's now city girls, that's Meg Stallion, these are our kids, right?
Yep.
And so that baby mama era, they don't have a compass for that. And so number one, what they children saw was mama doing it on her own. Again, they have no blueprint for what it looks like anywhere else. And mom bitter, so she telling her, get an education, don't depend on a man, blah, 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 blah.
That's right.
But if you pumping that into your child,
yep.
Number one, what you're telling your son is a woman don't need you.
Yep.
Well, a man will go do what he want to do. And what you're telling your daughter is you don't need him. So we got a generation right now. And if you talk to any millennial, they will tell you we don't trust each other. Yep. And so what's happened is, if you listen here and your mama told you to party your 20s, your mama is a liar from the pit of hell. Let me repeat what I just said. And I don't make no bones about it. If your mother, young women, told you to party in your 20s and that you had a choice when you got in your 30s and 40s, your mama's a liar from the pit of hell.
Your mama wanted you to be single like her.
Your mama wants you. I got a whole series I'm gonna do on toxic mothers. Sharice thinking like that because we got personal stories. I got personal story. We ain't about to get in that thing. We'll do a whole other thing about it. But this is where we're at, guys. Where we're at is that your mama lied to you.
Yeah.
And so you spent your 20s getting bodies, getting babies. And you think now that you in your 30s and 40s with children and body counts, and you don't have your youth anymore. And you can say what you want to. Men value beauty.
Oh yeah.
Okay, you don't have that
Absolutely.
anymore. Now you got a couple miles for them to feed, right? You got an attitude, you got bills. And so this is why a lot of people don't like Kevin Samuels, because basically what Kevin Samuels said, well, why would this? He don't. Here's the thing about Kevin Samuels. He don't tell the women they can't get a man. He said you can't get that man. You see what I'm saying? Because every woman wants the top tier men. So ladies, let me tell you something. Your mama lied to you. Your mama lied to you. And so now we're dealing with, and if I look at the younger couples that's getting married, right? Because it's still young couples that get married.
Absolutely.
They come from more of their parents was married. We got a person, I ain't gonna say their name, y'all might know her. She done got all her young kids. I don't think her oldest kid is over 22, 23. She done got all of them married off. She said, oh, no, we're not about to do no baby daddies, baby mamas here. What your mama gonna tell you, what your ignorant mama gonna tell you, is that your ignorant mama gonna cheer you being a baby mama, but will damn you for being a wife.
Oh yeah.
No, your ignorant mama will tell you at 18, your ignorant mama will tell you at 18, it's cool for you to be a baby mama, but you too young to be a wife. You don't have ignorant. And do y'all understand that is the permanent mindset right now? Because 85% of children are being born into single right now today in our community. We got a problem, y'all.
Yeah, but let me say this, Vanessa. I'm gonna say this: that conversation can go off into so many ways. We can get off into the systemic impact of what they did to our communities. You know, we could talk about all of that, how they pulled us, how that crime bill pulled us out the household. We can talk about all of it and the impact, and the reason why this is the trauma I was talking about. You know, you're talking about that young lady who watched her mama do it on her own. You know what I mean? And mad at her daddy. And so now she mad at all men because she watched her mama do it on her own. And then now she's telling herself, I don't need one anyway. I can do it on my own. You see what I'm saying? And so that's what we're dealing with. So it's so many, it's been an attack. And I know we're looking at this gentleman that's from the UK, and I don't know what they go through over there, but I know over here, that systemic racism has done a job on us, even as far as relationships are concerned.
Comments. Go ahead, Ed.
I want to add also that there are some young ladies that grow up in two-parent households with strong father and a strong mother. However, the social media and their friends pull them away from them, and these kids run away from home and end up doing the same stuff that you wouldn't expect them to do, and they come from good households. So
that social media, and we're gonna get into that. That social media, like Cherie said, we say it often, is the nail on the coffin. Why I'm so passionate about this, y'all, is because since I've been doing this work for a while, and y'all got to remember, I did 25 years in the wedding industry, right? So I've seen thousands of couples, thousands, okay? Probably more than the average person have seen. And just here lately, the things that, you know, I'm retired now, but the things that the brides go through with their family and they parents and all of that, and just the advice that is given to these girls in their 20s. You understand what I'm saying? And what we don't understand is, you can't ever walk that back. The decisions you make in your 20s, it will last you for the rest of your life. So your mama telling you to party, your dad, whoever, these decisions will last you for the rest of your life. And if you have a child within that confine, that child is going to see you doing exactly what you're doing. So now we get into a generational curse. You understand what I'm saying? We're going to take some of these comments and we're going to go to the next one because they've been off the charts here. Let's see. Cheryl says, thank God there was no social media when I was in the Navy. However, I did redirect my life by 13 years of abstinence. Yeah, and that can have issues too. Danny says, sound about right. Fiat got a face on there. Jamal said things that make you go, oh, this right here. This is their reactions during the I'm so doomed. Well, we ain't got to be doomed. We're going to look up, but we're going to get real about what we're looking for, okay? Dig this for some men, that's true, but what about the man that tries to blend in society, follows rules, look for work, but keeps getting rejected? Not all men are bad. That's another topic, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Fellas, y'all can put a pin in that, what Jamal said, and we'll come back to that toward the end of the videos. Kim says, I agree. Jamal says, people got to understand the word commitment. That don't totally mean marriage. You have to that are married and not committed. You have people that are committed and not married. I get that, Jamal, and you always say that, and I'm only add this, brother, because let me be very honest with you. If you're boyfriend or girlfriend gets sick and go to the hospital, you have no right over them. I don't care if you got a power of attorney. I just went through this with my mother that passed. I had all my power of attorney papers, and the hospital, the bank still said, you need some more papers. The only person can walk in that hospital room without any other is your spouse. So we need to stop this. It's not just a piece of paper. Let's just stop.
Even more than that, it's so much power.
Yeah, we got to stop having that conversation. No, that's not a conversation we have here on this platform. We advocate for marriage. If you don't, that's fine, right? But I don't want to keep going over. If that's what you want to do, that's fine, huh? I don't have a problem with that. But we don't need to restate this every time we get on the live, okay? And it's no disrespect to you, but I got to advocate for what's legal, okay? What's legal and whatever spiritual thing that you have. But trust me, even in the hospital with a power of attorney, the only person that really matter is that spouse. Because I just went through that and I had all my papers, power of attorney papers for my mom. It didn't matter. All right, let's get a few more of these comments. Cheryl said, approach the dress and more importantly taught. I teach my daughter age 12 about relationships. Good, Cheryl. Very good. Alexandra says, also, men say they want a one-way class, but the woman addressed the vibe to get all the attention that has nothing to do with sex because they're also the ones who are getting married. Where are they getting married at, Alexandra Hunt? I was in the wedding business for 25 years. Those are not the women that get married. They're just not. You may know a few, but you got to understand I was in the wedding business. Those are not the women. And if they're getting married, who are they getting married to? A rapper? You know what I'm saying? Let's not look at celebrities and stuff like that, okay? All right. Crystal said, good evening. All right. Back then, it was a struggle that made relationships work. You brought a good point. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, people like that, their marriages stuck together, even though the brothers got assassinated. Excuse me, peep that, because the enemy set out to destroy the family. There was no baddest B or G's back then. There was just, absolutely, it didn't exist. And that's another, actually, Brandon, if you want to get into that, they actually put that narrative in our community. It's not in no community. In the music, it's not in no other community. No other community, you're going to turn on the radio and they glorify stripper culture, drug. I'm like mainstream media, drug, no other community. And there's some things we got to take responsibility because we've allowed it.
Absolutely right.
Yeah, we've allowed
just like stuff.
Go ahead, Jason.
Just like with Cardi B, she was for what she did, drugging and robbing men, and she's celebrated as a Black people's icon. Can't make that up.
It's sickening. It's sickening. Why isn't she canceled? Why isn't she canceled? She admitted to drugging and robbing men, and you got Biden interviewing her. Yeah. This is sick.
Yeah.
And we done normalized it.
Yeah.
And that goes back to the masculinity where, you know, you're just supposed to be hard all the time because you're Black, and that the men are just going to respect and appreciate you being a hard woman. So this woman here, Cardi B, who so many young girls look up to, ex-hooker, ex-stripper, ex-robber, you know, and who she robbed? She robbed men. So what, you know, if that's who you're looking up to, where are we going as a people? Where are these kids going to end up? What kids are going to be available in the next generation if these are our leaders? Not Malcolm, not Rosa Parks, Cardi B.
Well, they all getting the ratings and the likes, and unfortunately, we are in a generation where people follow trend, follow numbers, and because you have 1 million views, 1 million likes, 1 million followers, they think that is the road to success. So they begin to emulate those characters and go after those kind of men in hopes to hit gold, strike it rich.
Yeah, absolutely. And Fiat said, what solution? I'm 46. I'm going to settle down. Fiat, people our age and older get married all the time, right? Absolutely. But what happens is your taste, a lot of women taste is still in their 20s. No, ma'am. So what you got to do is adjust and calibrate, right? Because a lot of women, I'm going to tell you right now, and Sharice can attest to it. All these women, Kim, whatever, everybody can attest to it. Women that say, ain't nobody asking me out, that's a lie. What's happening is she's still looking like I'm a pure 20-year-old with no kids, and a man gonna take me and protect me and your taste ain't never left that. And so then you 40, 50, 60, right? And then you realize, okay, I need to adjust some things. A lot of women, I gotta be honest with you, sisters. A lot of women put more of a value on themselves. And not that you're not valuable, we're not talking about that. We're talking about in the marketplace of dating. They've put themselves up here, right? When the body count, the age, and what you're, again, you got to look at the stuff men value, and he's going to talk about that, right? You got to look at what men value. Women want to name off what they think they bring to the table, and a man like, I don't care nothing about what you're talking about, right? A lot of times you're naming off masculine traits. You're talking about your career and what you do, and you can pay your bills. And he was like, can I have peace in my home? What is you talking about?
And then the other side is you haven't even mastered how to be quiet. You know, you haven't even mastered when to be quiet.
Bars.
You think somebody with some money and that's running a corporation and that's about to sit up here and argue and debate with you?
Right.
Because just in case any women don't know, if you give hell to that man when he walks through the door, he'll remember it's a whole lot easier to stay out and get drunk and come home when you sleep.
It sounds like some practice, man.
I mean, and to add something, like even in meeting in a relationship, you can meet a man and what he's already doing, what he takes pleasure in doing, do really well and work in, and that is the thing that attract you to him. And then you get in there and then you try and tell him to stop doing what you was attracted to in the first place.
Oh, we can actually do a whole show on that, Ed.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
We can do a whole show of that. Let's see. Kim says problem is a lot of men make pit stops at the women they say they don't want, creating conflict with mature women, and most say they want a wife. Yeah, that's a big one, Kim. That is an issue. Yeah, that's definitely an issue. I don't agree with women that say they can do everything that a man can. Absolutely not. The women that say that, when you talk about paying the bills, then they don't want to pay the bills. But if the man pay the bills, if you can do what they do that too. Don't keep the same energy. If a man proposed, then do that too. Right? Let's stop this. That's not attractive. That's not attractive. It's not attractive. Oh, the men do it too. That's not attractive. And that's not a wife.
We have put a negative light on roles, and there's nothing wrong with roles being established. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
We have put a negative spin on it, and I think it's that people cringe when you hear that word roles. You know, your role. No, we supposed to have roles. That's the problem. Everybody's trying to step in everybody else's role. We don't even know who we are.
But see, just to piggyback off of that, we know there's roles, and women know their roles too. So you sleep, I'm sleep. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. You hear a loud bang downstairs or at the front door. You ain't going to see.
You ain't getting up. That's right.
I'm in my role. You're going to stay right there. What was that? You're going to go find out what happened. Okay, I'm in my role. When everything is cool, you gonna go back to being, fussy again and trying to run my patience out. But yeah, we know there's roles. We all play that role too.
And we need to stop acting like there's not. Ladies, let me tell you something. And if you follow my other work, the feminism movement, it was never for us. And it was actually designed to get you away from your man, because they know that women by themselves and women and children are vulnerable. They're easily to control, right? I'm not about to go into that because it's a whole nother work that I do. I cover it and I need a man, right? But ladies, that's a big deal. Can't cover it here, but that mindset, right? We done had some help with that mindset. Kim says, I was going to be a wife and my boys were going to be husbands. It's important. Absolutely. It is important. Yes, yes, yes. Get bodies and babies. Here's the thing, Fiat, right? We not about to harp on people's past. I was a single mom, but you know what I did with my daughters? My daughters are now 31 and 30. My daughters are 31 and 30. I apologize to my daughters for bringing them into this world as a single mother. I apologize to them. And I explained to them why it was wrong, why it shouldn't have been done, and why they shouldn't did it. I did this now with my daughters. She got a 10-year-old son. You see what I'm saying? And so it's not about beating us up. It's like, okay, are we going to not? And when I talk to millennials, they say, Vanessa, our parents don't talk to us about their mistakes. So it's not about beating you up. I was a single mom, right? But it's about telling the next generation, no, baby, that ain't how we do it. That ain't the way. That's all they did. We're not about to beat each other up on mistakes, but that's not the way, right? It's not the way. All right, let's get a few more of these and we're gonna get into this next one. I'm raising a well-rounded CEO. Native baby mama just told my daughter, 12 years old, that I hate that she doesn't get to see the joy of a 2-parent home. Again, at least you teaching her. Babies making babies. Absolutely, absolutely. All right, let's get into this next one and we coming back. Let's see what he got to say now, y'all. He's been on point, haven't he?
Absolutely.
Let's see what he got to say now. All right. Y'all tag somebody. Tag somebody. I'm doing these all week. Well, tomorrow and Wednesday. All right. Let's everybody mute their
On to reason 3 why women are getting up. That is the possible backlash.
Can't hear anything.
That jar this man previously had is annihilated. And it's also...
Can y'all hear now? Okay. I think it was me. I shouldn't have muted mine. So let me go back. I apologize. Let me go back.
Getting rejected is way too high nowadays. Here's what I mean by this. In 2022, if you get rejected by a girl, it can take a matter of minutes for her to exponentially multiply the social damage you will face. This is especially true if your social circles intertwine a fair amount. I've seen screenshots like this before, and if you can't see what's happened here, a man has innocently asked a woman out over text. 1 minute later, it is screenshotted and uploaded to social media by the girl for the eyes of potentially thousands of people, and then bam, any social stature this man previously had is annihilated. And it's also the woman who gets the offer can amplify her received validation. Anyway, the point is, this magnification effect has only been possible since the explosion of social media about 10 years ago. Prior to this, the potential negative consequences of rejection weren't anywhere close to being on the same level. Previously, if a guy asked a girl out, he got rejected.
All right. So basically, we can unmute. Basically, he's starting to talk about the social media. And let me say this. When I was interviewing men, and I still interview men for the book and all that, right? The book, I Need a Man. A lot of men's number one issue why they haven't asked certain women out was because of their social media. And I got to be honest with you, there's a couple of y'all listening on here that you've done this before to men. And I was a man. One of y'all was trying to hook up with a man, and he saw that you had literally took a screenshot. I'm not lying to y'all. You took a screenshot of somebody who inboxed you, and you put it on social media. I have had men tell me they have stopped dating women or chose not to date a woman who doesn't have that discretion. In other words, ladies, if you think it's cute to upload what a man is saying to you, you don't realize for that little quick attention, I'm gonna get the fellas to chime in. What is that saying to a man who may be serious? So now the man from the UK is getting into the social media, y'all. So let's hear it, fellas. What do you think?
I would like to jump in on that real quick.
you see.
Yeah. Oh man.
Go ahead.
So 1 billion% right. Now the difference that I experienced, I only can speak from my own experience. I did date a woman that was a little bit more mature enough not to take my conversation and put it on Facebook or social media. However, she did share that information with her friends, which is just as bad because the issue that I have while I'm still single to this day is trust. You know, I need to find someone that I can be vulnerable with. And in this day and age, it's really hard to find. You know, it's really, really hard to find. That same social media post about a conversation you having with a young lady, it goes even beyond that. It had made it through 5 different friends, an auntie and a cousin before it even hit the social media platform.
That's so bad. That's so bad. Go ahead, Brandon. You was chopping at the bit to get
well, no, I mean, I've seen it. I've never experienced it myself, but I've seen it. And I mean, you know, even if it's just to get a laugh off a typo, you know what I mean? That, you know, or something like that, you know, was in your inbox. You know, that's the equivalent of a woman, you know, standing on a corner, you know, your woman, and you trying to get her just to calm down, and she's steady in your face. You know what? That's the same thing. It's embarrassing, and it speaks volumes of what type of woman you're going to be to that individual. You know, you're all about embarrassing and winning. You're not really about resolution. You know, it's a very immature trait. You see women that's upward in age, you know, doing that type of stuff, and have been hooked by this social media lifestyle.
That part. You can give some of these younger ones a little pass. They need some training and development, but these 30, 40, some, even 50.
Yep.
Go ahead, Jason.
It takes me back to what, you know, before it was social media. You know, you would be out, you maybe in a bar or club or whatever, and you see a table of women. You see one that you want to talk to, but you have to figure out how do you approach and not get, you know, firebombed when you approach. You do have those women that would, you know, just nuclear drop you in front of the whole table because it's entertainment for them. So I think that's where we're at with this. But you have two different types of conversations that are ending up in public. That conversation from an immature woman who doesn't know that everything's not entertainment, is not about clicks. Clicks don't keep you warm at night. Clicks don't help you pay your bills. That's different. The other thing is, if you have enough female friends, you've seen a woman's inbox, and those inbox offenders that say wild, reckless stuff. You know, you get a miscellaneous idiot that you weren't expecting, you know, or you know, when are you gonna be at my whatever? When am I meeting you? And like, wow, you don't even say, hey, my name is, hey, can I get to know you? You know, you have people that are just, some guys that are just asking for it. And when you see their stuff out there, I think that is more of a lesson to men who have no couth, have no ability to say something respectfully. Because, dude, you might have a daughter. You don't want somebody rolling up to your daughter, hey, when you gonna sit on my lap? You know, I mean, you got those kind of things I think should be exposed and then used as a teaching tool, because sometimes embarrassment is a good lesson to take if you have some shame about yourself. But for the rest of the guys that, you know, people are just women are just, you know, shaming because, I don't know, you're just not my speed, and I'm just gonna do something because I feel like laughing at you. That's somebody that's broken inside. You can't help that. You can't fix that. Those women are the potholes of life that you hope to drive around. Eventually, you fall in one, change your tire, put her in your rearview mirror.
Yeah. I think with his thing, like he said, the man respectfully, you know, he was very clear. The man respectfully asked her on an innocent date, and she literally, how much do we see this a day? Like I said, it's literally ladies, a lot of ladies, whatever. I know a lot of single men. I have a lot of men friends. Ed Dean is one of my very close, okay, very close. Right? And so I have a lot of single male friends, and you know, sometimes, okay, what are you looking for? And I'm looking, and I can't even send them some of your way because of your social media. And not that you acting so crazy, but just some of the reckless, you know, man did this. It looks so immature and unwife-like to a man. You're just like a fun girl. Y'all, the social media is a big thing. Sharice, come on, because we talk. Here's the thing. Let me say this about Sharice, and I talk about this all the time. I don't want to get into this, but Sharice had gotten married, and her close friends know, right? Sharice had gotten married. It was a whole year before she posted it. Some of y'all women can't go on a date one, without even hinting at you going on there. That's how much validation. Sharice was whole married, had the ceremony, the ring, and the man, and she ain't tell nobody for a year. I don't want to get into that now, but just the point is, this social media, we've allowed it to take over our life, even women are like our age. So Sharice, what you got to say about social media?
I definitely agree. It's like it's like this is the age of thrill seeking and attention seeking. Everybody's just craving for a like or something, a laugh, or all of that. people have no substance anymore, and it's always the one up you. I can do, I don't. It's so bad. It's so bad. That the social media is sickening. It's sickening, the things that people do and for likes to get on there and share all your personal business, post you dang near naked, posting every argument you done had with your cousin, sister, brother. It's just, the social media is just mind blowing. It's like an addiction. It's like a sickness. Like, yeah.
It's like Brandon was saying with the trauma. So here's the thing.
Yes.
And fellas, help me out with this, and then we're gonna get to some of the comments before we get to his next one. And again, I'm saying this, ladies, that's listening on here. I don't bring you my opinion, right? Because I spend so much time with this book and interviewing men and talking to men. And most of my clients are men. My writing clients are men. I get to spend a lot of time and get their heart on this. I can tell you right now, I have a very, very, very high value, close to 7-figure, very young man in my circle. Okay, no children. He's looking for a wife. He cannot find one.
No shot.
Because she need to be in God. So she got to have a faith about her. He absolutely doesn't want her to have kids. And there's some people I can recommend to him, but then when I go to their social media, your whole body out. He's not looking for that. As a man that travels around the world, young man that travels around the world, he got to introduce you to his business colleagues and this and that and this and that. And ladies, what you don't understand is, I don't care what somebody done told you, it do matter how you appear. Stop believing that lie. It does matter how you appear. And not only is your jobs looking at your social media, just like when a man contact us, what do? We go to his social media, see what he about and block him. Men do the same thing, right? Do you look like a fun girl? I had a friend tell me this. He said, men put women in 2 categories. He said, it's only 2. He said, sleeper or keeper. So when they look at your profile, is you a sleeper or is you a keeper? All right, let's get some of these comments and we're gonna go to the next one. Oh, we got a lot of comments, baby. This conversation is amazing. Alexander said, "Oh, yes, Brandon, talk about it. It's also a setup for especially Black couples should not be as one." So is bars the new thing? Because I have to be catching up on my thing. Is bars the new saying?
Yes.
You got the no caps and now it's bars. Okay, I got you. All right. Bars of racism. He just spoke of truth. Danny says, "Oh yeah, it can be the devil." Correct. Let's see. Yeah, they know that if the Black man and Black woman stick together, they can conquer every nation. But the powers on right. So we got all that. Here's the crazy part: we got through civil rights. We got through together. Right? We were still together through all of that, through slavery, through Jim Crow, all of that, around them 60s, 70s, right? When it was a few factors that came in there, including the jobs. It was the really crack era was one of the things that they moved the jobs out. So now the men don't have jobs. They selling drugs. They went to selling drugs and things like this. I got to be honest with you, as I'm doing my studies, abortion became, and I'll explain that later, why it's a big deal. Right? Why that was a big deal. So there's a few factors, and we'll get into that on another show. Let's see, Bill. They tagging people. That's right. Kim says, say that marriage is different from commitment. Absolutely, Kim. Cardi B, Lord, and Cosby in jail. Oh, a whole nother conversation. Cheryl says we've allowed it. That bad B narrative. Yep. Just took my daughter's phone yesterday because she had a bad B on her screensaver. Not today. Me and Sharice tried our hardest to get. We had a couple projects with young girls because of the Cardi B. We had the Ladybugs and then the TL girls. We're working our best to bring some positive in because here's the thing, y'all. There's nothing for them to listen to. Ain't no Brandy's, Monica's. You know what I'm saying? All they have is Meg Stallion, Cardi B. That's all they have, right? Right. Popularity. Okay. All right, y'all. Let's get to his next point. And let's see where we at. So let's, I guess everybody mute but me because I'm seeing now y'all can't hear when I'm on. Oh yeah, but tag somebody, y'all. We getting into this.
It's the reason for.
Hold on. How about I share the screen? All right, share screen. Share screen. Here we go. Okay. Uh-oh, y'all. All right. So everybody can mute but me. We should be good. All right. Let's go.
And shows why men are now just asking women to come over. As I'm about to explain, it is a far, far safer option. So, the way I see it, unless a woman is really low value and will take any source of male attention as an ego boost, it's likely she'll actually feel ashamed of the fact guys regularly ask her for hookups. She'll think, do guys think I'm easy? Do they think I'm unworthy of a relationship and only view me as a fun time? Have some of the guys I've been with in the past spread a bad word about me? You see, when women get asked to come over, unless she's low value, she doesn't actually take pride from the offers. She will, in fact, have a reduction in self esteem after a guy has lowballed her like that. Meanwhile, when a woman gets asked on an official date, she'll feel a massive amount of gratification from that and see herself in very high regard. She'll think, look at these men. They want to court me, take me places, spend money on me. This means I must be high value and for reasons unrelated to my natural beauty. My own conversations confirm this. I've had some really in-depth conversations about this with women recently, and what I've always found is their proudest moments are when they get asked out on a real date by a guy. And whether they're interested in him or not, they always take it as a huge internalization of validation. On the flip side, in these same conversations, women's most envious and bitter moments are stories about themselves hooking up with a guy only for him to never see her again the next day. They describe it as feeling used. This reinforces the point that women are not at all proud of being offered casual intimacy from a guy, as it shows nothing in terms of validating their non-physical value. Therefore, getting to the main point, from a guy's perspective, it is a far safer option for him to offer casual intimacy first, as he knows there's only a minute chance it will backfire on him, as the woman is unlikely to spread word around about his offer for an ego boost. Now what?
All right. So let's unmute. So basically, now this is a big deal for those that, hold on, stop the screen. Okay. So, fellas, one of my chief complaints from women is just that men just want to hook up with me. They don't want to date. That's really the crux of this conversation, right? They don't want to date. They want to get straight to the hookup. Okay. He said a lot of things that, like I said, Brandon, he's breaking down the science of why guys do that. And he's almost saying it's better to do that first than reject asking her out for a date. Here's the bottom line is it's going on in mass. Actually, more women are being asked to hook up than to date. So this is a problem. So let's get into it, y'all. Why are we going through the hookup route, right? Even if it's not you, why are men choosing to go to the hookup route instead of dating?
Well, I can say that some guys probably find that easier, but that was never anything I subscribed to. I think that, especially in this day and age, smash and dash, as one of the commentators said, was really on point. Smash and dash is dangerous. You don't know who you're coming up with, and what kind of situation you're getting yourself into. You know, not going as far as to say about the crazy situations where you could get set up for a robbery or something like that. You could just hook up with somebody is just batshit crazy, and you hit that and you're stuck.
Right, for a minute. Yeah.
Right. And then you got enough guys that are still dumb enough to talk about a pullout game. Come on, man. That went out in the 90s. So you just littering and dropping seed everywhere and anything that move, and babies is the likelihood, but having something that you got to scratch for is the other part of it. But it's just better, in my opinion, to know somebody. At least go out a couple of times. And some guys will say, well, I don't want to date her because it may be not worth my time. So in my opinion, if it's not worth it to date her, it ain't worth it to screw her. If you date her at least a couple of times, you can at least find out if there's a personality there and find out if it's somebody you want to go further with. But if you're not even going to have a date, you have no early warning signs of if there's potential problems like, you know, mental illness, because there are a lot of women who do have mental illness these days. The social media addiction is a mental illness.
It is.
I
There are
agree.
enough women, right? There's enough women that won't talk about it, but even just in general in our community, there's a lot of mental health issues and challenges for men and women. So to try to drown your sorrows in the next group of women is, you know, is a band-aid on a bullet wound. But you really want to know what you're getting yourself into. You don't want to get somebody hooked on you who has an addictive personality, and then, you know, you find out that there's nothing you can do to get this girl off your trail. You got somebody in your bushes now, or
Right.
you got some kind of reasonable worry that she might put a rape case on you. You just, it's not good policy.
No.
Not at
That's
all.
my take on it.
Not at all. Brandon, Ed.
I think it's the microwave society that we're in. You know, women want the money now, men want the sex now. You know, it's as really simple as that. Nobody has the time, wants to take the time to court anyone. You know, and I think the other side of it is it's all about a dollar. Like, I'm trying to get to the next dollar. It sounds like really both sides are trying to get to the next dollar, right? And so I don't really have time to spend with you courting you. I don't have time to go through the pleasantries and the opening of the doors and stuff. Let's just get right. Let's get straight to it. You know, and you know, the whole $40 thing that came about. I mean, I think that was an exaggeration or something, but that's a real thing. Like,
It's
the
real.
people, they to the point now of, look, you know what I'm here for. I know what you want. Let's just cut to the chase and get it over with. So, it's everybody want everything right away.
Don't want to go through the whole process. So just, and here's the problem too, for we talk to Ed, you know why the women are mad that when men are asking for hookups? Because they're giving it to them, right? They're giving it to them, like he said, they're giving to them, then the man ghosts them and they get upset. So a lot of women are going for the hookups. And again, it's not a condemnation, ladies. We have to, before we get to some solutions, we got to deal with the problem, right? And so a lot of women are mad that men are asking for the hookup because you're giving them the hookup. All
Well,
right.
not just that. Well, not just that, Vanessa, but you have a lot of young girls who will contact a lot of different guys. Like, they'll just blanket inbox guys on Instagram and, you know, feign some interest just so that that guy will be a little bit interested in them. And then the next thing you know, they're asking for money. Hey, I ran short, or I got a flat tire. Do you like me? You know, why don't you cash at me $100? So it's not just the guys that are looking for a cheap and easy hookup, but the women are offering it. Well, not really, because once the guy sends it, then they don't give him any more attention. Or if he just says no, then they blow up on him in his inbox. And now, you know, this is another woman that, you know, he's had a bad interaction with. So men are being trained to go for hookups with women based off of how much money they had. So they're being taught to be tricks. Pretty much.
All right, Miss Dean, you work with the youth.
Yeah.
And our age, what do you see?
Yeah. So unfortunately, it's the other way. I see the women actually the ones that's asking for the hookups. It's you know, but piggybacking off what Jason said, that's nothing I subscribe to as well, because I do believe in soul ties. I do believe that, you know, there's some kind of connection that's given off when laying with someone anyway, that births all of that craziness that you describe in your speaking. However, I do see that women are the ones that's asking for the hookups, and sometimes it's not just for money or anything. It's just for a hookup. You know, they just, you know, in this generation now, especially amongst the younger generation, I see a lot of them just kind of throwing, you know, back in my days, we had to like work hard to get a phone number, and now they being thrown out the window while you driving past. So I mean, it's a little bit different, you know. I remember back in the days, women, all they had to do was look good and carry themselves decent, and the men would come to them. You know, they didn't have to really do too much. But now it's a race to the next guy. Whether it be social media or just down the street. I mean, the women are doing the catcalling now. At least based on the things that I've seen.
Yeah, it's a real thing. Sharice, what do you think about
It's
this?
the
We talk
truth.
about all the time, the hookup culture.
It is. It's like they're wearing it as a badge of honor. Like it's cool. Like
Right.
no morals. And he's right. For me, just even coaching the little girls, hot. Just I don't know what I know what they're seeing at home because their mama is Cardi B, right? We know what they're seeing at home. So yeah, they're coming up and that's what they think it's about. Twerking and like how many videos have you seen where the mama like, that's my baby, and the baby 4 and she get it, mama.
Everybody laughing. Everybody laughing like it's funny. It's not funny.
It's funny, and that's not funny. So that's what they being trained, and that's what they see.
Can I piggyback off of that? In my session one day, I did a session with a group of youth, and I used that as an analogy. At that stage of the game, that's when pedophiles are normally introduced into the kid's life, because you bring your child out and you have them do a little show in front of the family, and that you have some of them relatives go up and give that child a couple of dollars. Good job. Before you know it, you didn't already birth a dancer, right? Sitting in the dang on living room of your house. You are 1,000,000,000% right. I've seen that on a regular basis. So yeah.
Sad.
Yeah, we are in a hookup culture, and part of it is that they don't know nothing else to be. Right? They have nothing else to offer. First of all, they haven't seen nothing else. They have no conversation. They had dates on their phones, right? It's nothing else to offer. I have nothing else to give you. And so that's a big part of it as well. And yeah, I agree with you, Ed. These women are so aggressive, right? They're so aggressive. And here's the lie that you're being told, ladies, especially some of you who went through the universities and all that. The lie that's been told to you is that women can do what men do. Men can do it, women can do it. And so go ahead, girl, live your sexual life. Just like that whole AJ Johnson thing with her having 2 men. It was absolutely disgusting. And I was more disgusted with the women over 40 that was praising that. So you mean to tell me having you 2 Ds in the bed with you, that's some type of fantasy? That's disgusting. And you had women praising it, right? And so now we got our daughters and they're subscribing to this. They have nothing else to offer. You can't talk to them about politics. You can't talk to them about history. You can't talk to them about business. You can't talk to them about, and the thing about it is, ladies, you want these super high value men. Super high value men value conversations.
And they want to be intellectually stimulated.
Absolutely.
What do you know?
Absolutely.
Other than who was what's his boy name and Lil Durk, what him and his girlfriend doing? I know that because I was interviewing some of the teenagers. They say, yeah, well, we just be on Instagram looking at Durk and his girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? So other than that, you go out and they're on their phones. This is the dates.
Yep, sure is.
Yeah.
They don't even talk to each other. They don't even look at each other. This is it. That's what they're doing at the table with each other.
Yeah.
So how do we fix that? So how do we fix it?
Yeah, let's get to this, and then we're gonna fix it by number one, what we're doing right here, talking. Number one, let's talk, because these gonna be hard conversations. We can't. There was something I heard years ago, and it was when a person is sick and they go to the hospital, before they're seen by the doctor, they have to go through admitting. Right? Before we can even get to healing, we need to tell people it's something wrong with what we're doing. The problem is so many people have justified what they're doing. And if they stay in a mode of justification, we're never going to get healed, because somebody done told you everything you're doing is cool. We evolved, we this, we that. Well, how is all the evolution immoral? Why are we going forward as society but going back morally? Right? So it's a lot to unpack. Let's get through these comments and we're gonna get to his last one. All right, we hearing love, adjust, and calibrate. Me, selfish. They coming in with these comments. Woo, so true. That part, most women hate the word submissive. They hate it, Kim. You ain't lying. Woo, woo. We get all these comments. That's right. LOL at Jason. Yes, and submission don't mean be a slave. No, it does not. That's right, Ed. Great point. Rules, love it. Danny says, child, I'm good. I need him to be the man. And that's okay. I know that's right, Danny. Stay in your lane. Yes, Crystal. I'm staying in the bed, sir. Right. You go ahead and take care of that, Robert. Exactly. There's nothing but roles. Roles create flows. Yes, I rhyme. Go ahead, Cheryl. Daddy said, right. Give yourself grace. Yeah. We're not beating nobody up. You understand what I'm saying? But we gotta get to what's wrong with us. Right. Kim said, yes. Yeah, we got a lot of yes. Hey, Tam. Sure, yes. Oh, got a lot of yes. I don't know what y'all's yesing for, but we got like continuous yeses. Okay, that's dreadful. All right, y'all, let's get to his last one. Now, this last one, I edited it just a little bit, and I will just tell y'all a precursor of what it's about. He's talking about, and this is kind of what I think Brandon started talking about. He's talking about men. I think this is more so younger men, right? Because over a certain age, you know what you know. Men not wanting to pay for dates, right? And he's saying in a way they shouldn't. Now, I did his clip, and in the end, we got a familiar face. So we're going to play this clip. This is the last one, and we're going to get to it so everybody can mute but me. Let's get this last one, and I think it's going to be kind of juicy.
On to reason 5. Entitlement and expectation a man on dates. I've noticed a lot of women have double standards within themselves. For some men, a woman may expect him to take her out on a bunch of dates, give her constant attention.
I don't know why that is still there. I'm sorry. Let me go back a little bit. I don't know why this player is there. Okay.
Entitlement and expectation a man should pay on dates. I've noticed a lot of women have double standards within themselves. For some men, a woman may expect him to take her out on a bunch of dates, give her constant attention, be available, and make him wait for intimacy, and that's if he ever gets it. Meanwhile, for a different type of guy, who she may barely know from an online dating app, she will simply show up at his house and have intimacy with him for free, no strings attached. This is the inequality. Why is the price set for one man different for another man? And if a new guy comes along, surely he's going to strive for the second option, the lower price, so he knows he's not wasting his time or money, and he knows what he's getting is guaranteed. It's human nature that people always follow the path of least resistance. This is why it's a contradiction. If a woman has ever hooked up from an online dating app, club, or whatever else, she cannot get upset on social media saying guys don't want to date her properly, as she has not priced herself at that level. She has priced herself at 0 and therefore deserves to get 0. It'd be no different from a store owner selling a product for really cheap, which obviously attracts a lot of new customers. Then all of a sudden he decides to go back to the higher price, and then he complains no one wants to buy his product anymore. So back to the point, you can't just pick and choose what your price is depending on the guy who's approached you or depending on how you feel on the day. That doesn't make a lot of sense. Anyway.
You think that you should be able to slide into somebody's DMs and chat her up and then have her come through and Netflix and chill? I hear more bullshit from men talk about, man, women out here dating this and that, and I'm not going to spend more than $20 on a date until I get to know something and so forth. That's what I think of all y'all saying that shit. So I think of all men saying this shit. And let me tell you why I think that. Because it is on us to ask better questions before you take somebody out. If you end up going out with a woman and she is a dinner scammer, then you failed. That is a horrible attitude to go into the market. I'm going to treat all women. I'm going to take a woman that's obviously up here out to Starbucks because I don't want to get scammed for $30. Keep your broke ass at home.
All right. So number 5, he's talking about, and it's a lot to dig there, y'all. I see the fellas. So basically, this is a big topic, y'all. This is a big topic. So basically, just let me encapsulate what he said. Basically, women go hook up with number 4, right? They'll go hook up with a random dude, right? That they're attracted to, But this other dude come along, they're expecting him to wine and dine and all this kind of stuff like that. And he was like, how you going to price yourself at zero and then expect the next dude to come along and pay you for what you just gave for free? This is a big deal, y'all, because it goes along with this hookup culture that Kevin Samuels is talking about, the guys who say, hey, I'm only going to spend this amount of money because she might be just getting me for dinner. He basically like, look, it's up to you to vet her, to make sure that she's worthy of it, but don't be out here just talking, I'm about to spend $20, $30 on a woman. All right, fellas, that's a lot to unpack. Let's get into it.
So I'm vetting someone for what you plan on spending on a date. I don't know. That concept to me, it just doesn't make sense. I think that takes the man out of it for me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To vet a woman. If I ask you out on a date, then I need to be prepared. And I think that's starting off on the right foot. Is showing that you're a man who's prepared. You know, you don't invite somebody out to dinner and then want to put stipulations on things. I don't think that's right. Now, however, I do agree that what my man said about, you valued yourself at zero, and you're gonna still be smelling like zero. I don't think anybody I don't know if people really understand that. When you value yourself at zero with one person, you're still gonna smell like zero to the next man.
Facts.
And then you're going to be wondering why you're not successful in that particular venture, because you still smell like zero. Zero is reeking from your skin. We might not have woman's intuition, but we do have intuition. And a lot of men we'll play dumb. Try to see how far you think you're gonna get with the situation. So I really it's messed up because, again, even hearing Kevin Samuels' perspective, obviously he's getting these men in their inbox, and they're coming with these absolute statements about what they're not going to do. And again, we're not budging for one another, and it's sad. It's like, how do we? The conversation is a great start, but at some point it's going to take somebody relenting.
Absolutely. Jason, Ed?
I think you got a few things going on here. For the men who pay for multiple dates and still get stiff-armed, there's something there with that man that the woman does not value and makes him pay for it. And he may never reach that threshold where he's paid enough. That guy's already in the friend zone. Whereas we have to keep in mind that women are not supposed to be on a pedestal. In fact, if you really get them to be truthful, a lot of women will tell you they don't want to be on a pedestal.
Right.
They are living, breathing sexual animals, no different than men. We just like to look at women like they're some pristine paragon that you look up to, and you just don't want to look at her like that. No, she does nasty stuff too, just like you. She has an itch and she has to scratch it. She will get it scratched. No matter whether you're the nice guy that she friend zone or you're only there for dinner dates. So you have to know yourself. If you've been friend zoned by that woman and you didn't catch it, you're putting yourself in bad positions in other places in your life as well. As far as Kevin goes, a lot of people call him gay, but they don't call him wrong. So you have to ask yourself, what is it that you're going out with this woman for? Are you really trying to vet her out? Or are you just enjoying her company?
Oh, and Jason
Female
froze
friends
there.
over the course of my life.
Jason, you froze up. Jason, you froze up a little bit.
Okay, how am I now?
Gotta go back just like a sentence or two, because you were saying about the Kevin Samuels and all that, but you just froze up just about a sentence or two.
So are you trying to vet that woman, or are you just trying to enjoy her company? You know, either one is fine. And if spending $250 on her for coffee, or $100 for dinner, or somewhere in between is a problem for you, you should not be dating in the first place, because you obviously cannot afford it.
Yeah, yeah.
And outside of that, are you dating her just to enjoy company, or are you just like having female company as opposed to having a bunch of guys around or being by yourself? I think that you should be open to all options. And whenever you go out with a woman, is not just because, well, you know, I want to bang your brains out at some point, or I definitely want to get married. Hey, let's just get to know each other. Maybe you are just my female friend and I friend zoned you. Maybe we friend zoned each other and this is just what we do. We hang out. You know, all of it is possible, and you have to be open to those possibilities, but you have to also be realistic about what your position in life is, how you value yourself, because I do know women that their only purpose is to get some guy, some poor sap to take them out for dinner. And then, okay, bye. So you just want to make sure that you're not with a predator posing as a house pet.
Oh, okay. Mr. Dean. It's so funny because I told him don't call me Miss Vanessa because we do that sometimes, and I'm calling you Mr. Dean. I'm sorry, Ed.
It's okay. So for me, I just think that it depends on a certain age bracket. You know, I think that the older you are, you're a little bit more wiser in your selection process in determining who you're going to date. And I just think that, you know, for me, if I was to take someone, I'm gonna put them on the same standard that I would put any woman out, because if I'm asking you out at this stage of the game, I'm real serious about a real relationship, and I ain't trying to play no games. However, if there's someone that's friends, then we go hang out and you spend your money, I spend my money. So as it relates to Mr. Samuels, I kind of understand where he's coming from as opposed to taking someone out and keeping the expectations high all across the board. Anybody else that with the younger generation, I think they all just, you know, playing a game of Russian roulette, you know, and it's unfortunate because it's really, really bad now than it has ever been. And I'm talking about even removing any certain protection that will forget the fact of getting pregnant, just STDs in general. I don't even think that that's even real conversation in the younger and even some of the older generations. However, but if I'm asking you out on a date, I really look at you as a very respectful individual. I want to take you out and want to hear you rather
You echoed a little bit of it, but I think we heard your point. All right, Sharice. What do you think about what it was kind of two things with the hookup and then what Kevin Samuels was talking about?
Well, two things. I think conversation is a lost art. We don't communicate enough. We don't, like he said, we don't ask the right questions. We don't even state our purpose of dating. And we just want to get straight to the prize. You know, they want to go from 0 to 100. So I meet you today and I think you're cute and we have a good conversation. And so tomorrow I'm telling my girls, like, girl, we're about to be at the blah, blah, blah. We jump from 0 to 100. We missed the whole middle part. So then when we don't get to know that person or they don't get to know us, and then somehow the lust and all that ends up in the bed. So now you're ashamed, you're upset, you got ghosted because he really didn't like you in the first place, or vice versa. However, it's like everybody's missing that whole middle piece in dating. The whole middle piece of dating is gone. It's either the beginning and then people want to jump straight to the end.
Sharice, I just to piggyback off what you said, I agree with you 100%. I mean, even the whole dating aspect, when I'm asking you on a date, I know something about you. I know a little something about you. We didn't have some conversation somewhere down the line. So I just don't understand. I don't see how this the whole dating layout can fall into play with a $5 meal or a $20 meal unless you already exemplified yourself as a $5 or $20 person.
And that's what he was saying. That's exactly what he was saying. I think that's what Brandon was saying. Like, okay, you going around. Let me say this to the ladies. Let me say this to the ladies. Let me say this to the ladies. Y'all may not believe me. Men talk, right? If you have hooked up with men, they talk, right? Because I'm in the entertainment circle, ladies, actresses, if you're listening, if you've hooked up with a man, I know about it. It's not a secret. What I'm saying is in Motor City Men, you're in the entertainment, they talk, sweetheart. And so a lot of you wondering why you don't get certain results, it's because your reputation bad out here in the streets. Now, that don't mean that, you know, you can't get out of your life and all that. I'm not giving you gloom and doom. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is a lot of you live a secret life and you're not. The streets is very small, right? They're very small. And so a lot of you just got bodies. You got bodies, right? And that don't, when a man is going for a wife, again, like I said, there's some like, okay, you passed, you been cleaned up or whatever, but a lot of you don't even recognize that can be an issue. Nobody wants a woman getting bodies as the mother of their children, right? If the man got children, you don't have children. And so again, ain't nobody saying that you can't clean yourself up, get yourself together, repent and all that. I don't want to get into the spiritual stuff. So nobody's saying you can't change your life around, but a lot of you ladies don't realize that, again, men talk. I know a lot of information.
Hey, Vanessa, to add what you saying, I'm all the way in Houston now, and I'm hearing conversation about bodies in Detroit.
Hold on, Ed, you freezing. So go back, hon. You were freezing when you said all of that. So repeat that for me.
Yeah, I'm in Houston now, and I'm hearing conversations about bodies of people in Detroit. You know, and it's not just in the city; it didn't travel across state lines. You know, and some of those same people travel cross state just to get bodies.
Crazy.
That's
man.
Scary. That's real scary.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah. The crazy part is, you know, we had a lot of this book and stuff. It started because I started a group called Dating for Grown Folks. Myself and my friend Joe Smith, we started about 8-9 years ago. We actually had some marriages from that group and whatever. And the hookup stories from out of state. Now we had a couple of marriages from out of state, but what I'm saying, ladies, especially, it's not a secret. A lot of y'all think y'all see, it's not. I would never be the one to either expose you or even say, hey, I heard this, but I hear it. Because I have very good men friends, and men trust me, because if a man come to me, a man friend, they're not gonna hear nothing else about it. So men trust to talk to me, right? And so there's no secret, sweetheart. There's not. And so ladies, we got to be very cognizant as we're aging. We got to be very cognizant on how we handle ourselves out in these streets, right? Again, it's not a condemnation, but it's like we got to be aware of this. All right, we're gonna take some comments and then we're gonna get out of here, y'all. This has been a really good discussion. Let me see the pothole. Hold on. Let's see. She says, girl, go through my social media. I may have okay. And you know what, ladies, that's a good idea. If you got a male friend, ask a man to go through your social media. See, a lot of you all don't have a lot of really good male friends. You got males that want to sleep with you, but you don't have real good platonic male friends that say, hey, you know what, look through my social media, right? A lot of y'all, gotta be honest with you, ladies. I know single men, some of y'all profile pictures, all that. I can't send them your way for a wife, baby. You got too much out. But see, nobody want to tell you that. They want to tell you can wear what you want to wear. Yeah, you can, but there's a consequence to that. Sorry, ladies, it is. All right. Danny says social media is frustrating, very frustrating. There are studies that will indicate social media, yes, especially for the younger generation, for sure. Mary, yes, too much info on social media. Look at Kim and Kanye. Oh my God, the Kim and Kanye thing is making me sick because they're children. Forget what y'all doing, and y'all
don't know everything.
Kids be on drugs. They commit suicide,
and they will be in school one day. Like people, kids are cruel, man. You know what I mean? And they will be in school one day. You wondering why they suicidal or want to fight everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Right.
Because they gotta handle your baggage at dang on
Yep.
6, 7, 8 years old.
Ridiculous.
That's a
It's crazy. And two, I talk about this. People are now getting divorced in public. People used to get divorced and just going about their business. Now you putting it out there, not thinking about what it's doing to the kids. And let me tell y'all something. During my studies, I hate to tell y'all this, divorced people. People may think, well, divorced kids got a better outcome than people who's a single mother. No, ma'am. It's actually worse. I was very shocked when I began to do my studies about what happens to kids that come from broken homes. The divorced kids kind of fare worse because they had somebody there and now they're gone. The one that's in a single house, it was always single. You see what I'm saying? So the kids take it as a rejection. So those of you that's patting yourself in a divorce.
Yep.
Okay. Let me read a couple more.
One thing about that, that what you said, Vanessa, about the Kim and Kanye thing.
Yeah.
All the people who are entertainers and celebrities and on this level that, you know, normal people will never reach, they're not normal people.
No.
Their situations are so out of the world different. You know, in some cases, I would say even in that couple's case, Kim and Kanye, they're kind of brain damaged. You know, everything is for attention and for clicks and for likes and let me air my entire business out. People emulating that, it's nothing to emulate because your life will never reflect what those people go through. Yeah, they got money, but do they have happiness? Do they have sanity? Do they have peace? And that is a big problem that we have in our society because we're following people who are burned up and empty inside.
Yes.
And it just looks like they got it together because they don't have a problem paying their gas bill.
Right.
That's not the example to follow.
Not at all. And the problem is we value money and don't value those other things. Latrell says facts, showing your body says smash and dash. I'm sorry, ladies. It just, it's sad that we got to have these conversations. We got to battle. Just like Monique got backlash when she told the lady, stop wearing bonnets in public. Why are you defending wearing the bonnet? This is the mindset that we're at, right? Because somebody told you can do what you want and still get the life you desire. No, ma'am. No, you can't. Even with the men, right? I did a post, and I do this often, right? I did a post to show the man in a sheer shirt with his tight shorts and whatever. I said, ladies, how you feel about if your man go on a date with you like that? Oh, everybody went off. Oh, he gay, he this, he that. But a woman can wear the same thing, and the women will say she can wear what she wants.
Yeah.
No, ma'am. Right? If you're ashamed to go out with your man looking like that, and I want to hear about Keisha K.R. We not again. Stop using celebrities as examples. Right? Stop using that. We don't live in that world. We don't. Okay. Let's see. Danny says, yeah, abortion is another tool to try. Oh, yeah, that's a big one, Danny. Exactly. Nothing for them to listen to. Kim said, this is true. Do not ask me to come to your house and I don't know you. It's a whole other combo, Kim. This is a trend among men, often casual intimacy. It's not flattering. Not at all, Kim. Fiat says, the last few guys I came across wants to smash and just go with the flow. No, ma'am, block and keep going. Fiat.
Go with the flow.
No. At least you're not giving your body when you date her to find out if she's crazy or not. Ma'am says, I think guys may be tired of being used for dates food. I know women that will only go for that reason. They have no, yep. Like they said, the guy's in the friend zone already. The guy that she want, he ain't got to take her nowhere. So the UK guy was right. The guy that she want, he ain't got to take her nowhere. Right? The guy that she friend zone, he got to spend all the money and all. That's and like you said, at some point, I don't know who said it, great Brandon or Jason. Sometimes, sir, you got to wake up and say she don't like you. Right? She doesn't. She's using you. Hurt people. Absolutely. The trail said men do it because women say cash at me if it's real. Oh, yep. So to keep from unnecessary money, it's cheaper to get straight to the point. That's where it is, especially with this younger generation. Type of only men go, I got you, Tam. Cheryl says, so sad. Danny says, being intimate with a stranger is very risky and it's scary. Let's see. Court, there's a word I thought I only knew. You don't hear that in dialogue today. Okay, y'all. So unhealthy transaction. All right, let's see. Women are making it too easy for these men now, making it more difficult for women. That's a big thing, y'all. And I believe that too, Mary Victoria, that it's the standards are so low now. When a woman does have standards, she may look a little crazy to some people. That's absolutely, I really believe that. Okay. All right, y'all. We're going to get out of here. This has been a very, very, very helpful dialogue. Fellas, I want to have y'all back whenever. So this week I'm doing Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Tomorrow is going to get really deep, y'all. We're going to be talking about the hierarchy of men. And it's still from this guy here. It's going to blow you away. He talks about the hierarchy of men and how women relate to them men. It's heavy. It's heavy. Yeah, it's heavy. So y'all are free to come on here and talk. And then I'll be doing these shows like, okay, so just to clarify, y'all, I got 3 shows, right? So I have this is the I Need a Man show. We just started this, and it's going to be based on relationships, marriage. Then I have my journalism where I talk about the vid and all that stuff. And then I have my family series. The family series kind of goes with this, but this is more talking directly about the couples and all that, the families, the war on kids and, marriage and all that stuff like that. Okay, so I don't want y'all to get confused. They 3 different shows, but I just started the I Need a Man. I really want this to be a panel. I don't want it to be just me up here talking. So I'm big on men's voices. As you see, we didn't argue with the men here. A lot of time y'all watching these, like, why am I arguing with a man? I'm not a man. I don't have a phallus. So why am I arguing with a man? For a lot of you ladies, and I've had to check some women, right? Because we were on a show last week and a woman started, well, you shouldn't feel like that. You can't tell a man how to feel. You're not a man. That's the problem, is women want to tell men how to feel. And men, I got to say this to you, men. You don't know how we feel, right?
That's right.
And so listen, not only that, let me just give you this little tea before we get out of here. If your good female friend, Ed Dean, tell you a woman ain't no good, right, ladies in the comments? A lot of times y'all don't listen to us, but we know. And I'm not talking about nobody that wants you, because sometimes you can talk to somebody that wants you and they got hidden motives, but your good girlfriend, ask them about the women. We can see, just like you should be asking your male friends, right? And here's the thing, y'all, we've left the day from people meeting our parents and stuff. And so, right, can't nobody come to Ed with his daughter. And Jason, you got daughters. Brandon, I'm not sure if you got daughters, but can't nobody come to Ed and Ed say, what's your intentions with my daughter? He gonna say, I'm gonna just go with the flow. That ain't
right.
gonna cut it.
Right as hell.
You can't. Y'all see what I'm saying, ladies? A man telling you go with the flow, that ain't cool, because if there was a father there, if there was some type of support, a man can't tell another man he about to go with the flow with his daughter. So stop accepting that. Stop accepting that.
Yeah. And help you flow right on down the street.
Yes. Yeah. All right, y'all. It's some more comments, but I gotta get out of here. We didn't held the fellas, but I've enjoyed y'all fellas. Y'all are welcome back anytime. Just the inbox.
Thank you. It's been such a pleasure.
Yes.
Thank
and
you for the invite.
We want to hear from y'all because and Brandon, you ask about solutions. Well, number one, this book ain't for me to get $1 million. This book has nothing to do with, it has to do with everything we're talking about. It has to do with the children that we've had out of these situations. It talks about the trauma. It talks about basically changing our mindset, how we look at men. This is not my opinion. This is my research, about 7 years of researching here. Ed is one of my good friends. I've also interviewed him for a little bit, with this book and some other things as well. Even when we do our play, y'all may not notice, ladies, we bring in I Need a Man to the play. We've had women literally look at the play and say, hey, I see myself. I want to make some changes. I don't just entertain. That's not what we're here to do. Sharice got a ministry going on in her home right now. So we're doing things. Trust me, behind the scenes. I have married women contacting me saying, I wish I would have had this years ago. Y'all see what I'm saying? So, but y'all don't understand, man, how powerful the conversations are, because there's some people who have no men in their life at all. They weren't raised with their dad. They're not around men. All their grounds are unhealthy. So even just hearing y'all being real and being honest, it starts there. Okay. So we're doing the work right now. Okay. All right, y'all. I've enjoyed each of y'all, but come back, fellas. Come back. Come back as much as you want. Okay. All right, y'all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay. I gotta play my outro.
All right, I hope you enjoyed today's show. Help us grow this channel by sharing this video with a friend. Be sure to pick up your copy of I Need a Man, available at all online bookstores. If you have a question, would like us to be a guest on your podcast or at your book club, email us at vlynnbooks@pm.me. Thank you for your support. Till next time.